Under the golden sunrise of a quiet countryside, Lee Tusam begins a journey that will warm every heart. From harvesting fruits under the morning light to selling them at the bustling market, her hard work is driven by something deeper: gratitude and love. With the money she earns, Sam decides to buy a special gift for Officer Lee, the man who has silently protected her. What begins as a simple act of thanks soon turns into a touching story of affection, kindness, and destiny. The first light of dawn slipped through the thin curtains, brushing across Lee Tusam's sleepy face. She blinked a few times before sitting up, stretching her arms as the gentle sound of birds echoed outside her small wooden house. The scent of fresh dew, mixed with the sweet fragrance of ripe fruit, drifted through the open window, reminding her that today was Harvest Day, the busiest yet most fulfilling day of the week. Sam tied her hair into a neat braid and stepped out into the morning sun. The orchard spread before her like a living painting, rows of orange trees heavy with golden fruit, branches bending gracefully under their weight. Each fruit glistened with tiny drops of dew, as if nature had adorned them with pearls overnight. She slipped on her gloves and began to pick one by one, placing them gently into her woven basket. The sound of the leaves rustling with the breeze and the soft thud of fruit landing in the basket created a peaceful rhythm that felt almost like music. Though her hands were rough from years of working on the land, her heart was light. Every tree, every fruit she harvested carried a piece of her hard work and hope. The morning sun grew warmer, touching her skin with a soft golden hue. She paused for a moment, wiped the sweat from her forehead, and smiled faintly. Life here wasn't easy, but it was honest, and that honesty gave her a quiet strength. By mid-morning, her baskets were full. She loaded them carefully onto her small cart, tied the ropes tightly, and began her walk to the town market. The road was long and dusty, winding through fields and passing by the slow-moving river, but Sam didn't mind. She hummed softly to herself, her steps light with anticipation. The town was already alive with the sound of merchants calling out prices, the chatter of children, and the aroma of fresh bread from the bakery nearby. When she finally reached the marketplace, she laid out her fruits neatly on a wooden table. Their vibrant colors, orange, yellow, and green, immediately drew the attention of passers-by. "Fresh from the farm," she called out with a cheerful smile. One by one, customers stopped by, admiring her produce and complimenting her on the quality. Some recognized her and greeted her warmly. "Sam, your fruits are the sweetest again this week." She laughed modestly, thanking them and wrapping their purchases with care. As the morning turned into noon, her baskets began to empty and her pouch grew heavier with coins. Sitting down for a short rest, she gazed at the lively street before her, and a quiet thought crossed her mind. She wasn't saving this money for herself today. No, she already had something else in her heart, a plan to buy a special gift for someone who had silently stood by her side, Officer Lee. By the time Lee Tusam returned home, the sun had already begun its slow descent behind the hills, tinting the sky in shades of rose and amber. The sweet exhaustion of a long day's work weighed gently on her shoulders. She placed the remaining fruit on the kitchen table, washed her hands, and sat by the window where the golden light streamed in. From her small purse, she poured the coins she had earned that day, little silver and bronze circles clinking softly against the wooden surface. It wasn't much, but to Sam, It represented every drop of sweat, every smile, and every kind word shared with strangers at the market. She began to count slowly, her fingertips brushing each coin as if it were a small treasure. Yet her mind drifted elsewhere, to the image of Officer Lee. She remembered the day he had helped her carry heavy baskets after a sudden storm, his uniform drenched, but his expression calm and steady. She remembered his gentle voice when he once told her, "You shouldn't walk home alone this late." There was no romantic gesture, no grand confession, only quiet care that lingered like sunlight after rain. Sam smiled faintly, resting her chin on her hand. She didn't know when her gratitude toward Lee had grown into something warmer, something that made her heart beat a little faster whenever she saw him. He wasn't a man of many words, but his actions spoke volumes, fixing her broken fence, checking on her after a heavy rain, or simply offering a nod and a small smile whenever their eyes met at the town square. Those simple moments had become the soft thread weaving through her days, unnoticed but strong. As she looked at the coins again, an idea took shape in her mind, a small yet heartfelt way to show her appreciation. Maybe I could get him something, she thought. Not something expensive, but something meaningful. Something that would remind him that his kindness had not been gone unnoticed. Her gaze lifted toward the window, where the faint glimmer of stars had begun to appear. The idea warmed her heart like the first spark of a secret. Sam stood up, gathered the coins, and placed them into a small pouch tied with a red ribbon. Tomorrow, she decided, she would visit the clothing shop near the town square, the one with neat displays and white shirts that reminded her of Lee's calm and composed presence. The idea made her smile wider. She imagined his surprise expression, perhaps even a rare, genuine smile when receiving the gift. That night, as she lay in bed, the cool breeze played with her hair. The farm outside was silent, except for the soft chorus of crickets. Sam closed her eyes, clutching the little pouch close to her heart. For the first time in a long while, she fell asleep not thinking about her struggles, but about the joy of giving, and about the man whose kindness had quietly changed her days. The next morning arrived with the tender light that painted the rooftops in gold. Lee Tu-sam awoke before the town stirred, her heart quietly fluttering with anticipation. She dressed simply, her hair tied back with a small ribbon, and took the pouch of coins she had saved from yesterday. As she stepped outside, the morning air was crisp, carrying the faint scent of rain-soaked earth and blooming jasmine. Every step she took toward the town felt both thrilling and uncertain, like a secret she was afraid yet eager to share. When she reached the clothing shop near the town square, she paused in front of the glass window. Inside, rows of neatly folded shirts and jackets gleamed under soft light. Her eyes wandered until they found it, a white shirt, simple yet elegant, hanging gracefully on display. It was the kind of shirt that seemed made for Officer Lee, clean, composed, yet quietly strong. Sam stood there for a moment, imagining him wearing it, sleeves rolled up, that faint smile on his face. Her cheeks warmed at the thought. She stepped inside, greeted by the gentle chime of the doorbell. The shopkeeper, an elderly woman with kind eyes, noticed the way Sam was staring at the shirt. "Looking for a gift, dear?" the woman asked with a knowing smile. Sam hesitated, then nodded softly. "Yes, for someone who's helped me more than he knows." The woman chuckled lightly. "Ah, then it should be special." She took the shirt down and folded it carefully, wrapping it in pale blue paper with a white ribbon. "Here you go, something from the heart." Sam paid with the coin she had worked so hard to earn. As she held the package in her hands, it felt heavier than it looked, not from its weight, but from the meaning it carried. She thanked the woman and made her way to the police station, her steps small and deliberate. The sun was climbing higher when she reached the station. A few officers greeted her politely, and soon Officer Lee appeared, looking slightly surprised to see her. Sam, is everything all right? He asked, his usual calm voice soft with concern. She shook her head gently, smiling. Everything's fine. I wanted to give you something. She held out the wrapped gift. For a moment, Lee simply stared, unsure what to say. Then, with careful hands, he accepted it. You didn't have to. I wanted to, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. It's a small thank you for always being there. Their eyes met, his steady and warm, hers shy yet sincere. For a fleeting moment, the bustling sounds of the street seemed to fade away, leaving only the quiet heartbeat of something tender between them. Lee looked down at the gift, then back at her. Thank you, Sam. I'll treasure it. And as Sam walked away, the morning light caught in her hair, and her heart swelled with the happiness she couldn't quite name. The simple, beautiful joy of giving love without asking for anything in return.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các khán giả của kênh Lý Từ Sam Review. Rất vui vì ngày hôm nay lại được gặp lại các bạn trong câu chuyện ngày hôm nay. Trong câu chuyện ngày hôm nay của chúng ta thì Lý Từ Sam đã đi thu hoạch trái cây, cô đi chợ bằng tiền và dùng số tiền đó để mua một món quà đặc biệt tặng cho cảnh sát Nhi để đền đáp lại những gì cảnh sát Nhi đã giúp đỡ và tặng cho cô. Đó chính là một chiếc áo sơ mi trắng rất là đẹp và phù hợp với anh. Mọi tình tiết hấp dẫn về câu chuyện Lý Tiểu Sam và cảnh sát Nhi sẽ còn được hé lộ vào các tập tiếp theo. Các bạn hãy ấn vào nút subscribe để đăng ký kênh sẽ nhận được thông báo mới nhất về các tập phim sẽ được phát sóng trên kênh Lý Tử Sam Review nha. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.